Hi, this is Pathfinder Dude, and today we're going to be talking about the Philippines and the likes and dislikes of that country. I have spent about 16 years going in and out of that country and spending months at a time in that country, so I have a general idea of how that country is and what the dislikes and likes of that country would be. But disclaimer, I am married to a Filipina, so I may not be able to say exactly the dislikes of that country. Just keep that in mind. All right, so number one, friendly people, extremely friendly people. What I call is what it would be in the 1940s or 1950s in America. Um, they're most are very proper, um, a little shy, but overall very, very nice, friendly people. So that's one like that I like. We're gonna go through the likes first. Um, Another thing is if you like seafood, you got fresh seafood, um, and that's in general fresh. Clean restaurants, like if you go to McDonald's in America, they used to keep the tables fairly clean and the restaurant clean, and that's kind of progressively went downhill over amount of time. But in the Philippines, it's like going to a 4 to 5 star restaurant. They keep everything orderly. They take your food trays. They really clean up after themselves, and it keeps it very clean and proper place to eat. And that's all the fast food restaurants, not to mention all the other nice restaurants that you got. Um, if you're a vegetarian, it's very hard to find vegetarian food. You can find it down there, but it's very hard. Like, let's say if you order tofu, you're probably going to get tofu with pork in it, and it's not going to tell you it's pork until you receive it, or something like that. So just be cautious about that. When you say you order tofu and you're a vegetarian, you're going to have to specify, is there anything else in the tofu? So just keep that in mind if you are a vegetarian. It is a very carnivore, meat-eating people down there. So keep that in mind. Pork, number one. All right. So outstanding service. We kind of touched base in that just a little bit ago about outstanding service. They're very prim. They're very proper. They dress very nice. It's very service oriented, and they're very good at it. Unlike America, where the service has kind of went downhill, everything's do it yourself type of stuff. So it's very, very, very good service. So just keep that in mind. Service, as in, let's say you have a car down there and you don't fill up the car yourself full of gas or petrol or whatever you want to call it. The Filipino actually puts the gas in the car, kind of like Portland does in America. All right, so it's not a do-it-yourself. You get full service. The Costa hotels, you can get a 5 star, 4 to 5 star hotel at very cheap prices. I know I got a 5 star hotel for roughly $65 5 years ago, so it's probably around 70 now. And that's for a 5 star full service restaurant or full service hotel. So it's very nice, very cheap, and it's close to everything in like the shopping districts and stuff like that. Unless you're getting an American chain like Marriott, it may be similar prices to the United States. But anyway, it's very cheap. So if you go on vacation, keep in mind it's the cost is decent. All right. Also, when you come to America, you in general need an Uber or rent a car. Rent a car is probably your best bet. You can travel anywhere you want and go anywhere you'd like. But over there, you don't have to worry about any of that. You have taxis everywhere. In general, it's a taxi stand, and you have to stand in line maybe for a short period of time, but you're not going to be in any inclement weather like rain or anything like that, because it's going to be covered. In general, everything's covered if it's a taxi stand. So not all places, but in general, that's what it is. So you don't have to worry about transportation. You got it everywhere you go. Or you can put a private car on standby and they'll pick you up and take you wherever you'd like to go. once you find one of those people, you can do that. All right. This is something that you guys probably want to know about, beaches. There are some very, very nice beaches down there in Palawan Beach or Boracay Beach. Boracay is more of a touristy, well, they're both touristy destinations, but Boracay is more of a more touristy than Palawan, in my opinion. Boracay has restaurants and stuff during the day out on the beach, and then at night it kind of turns into a party mode, and it's kind of, you do drinking or whatever like that. Versus Palawan is more, you go to the beach, you go to the caves, you go to different things to visit. But if you go anywhere, and Palawan is very clean. It's a very clean beach. Probably one of the cleanest beaches in all of Philippines. I could be wrong. Somebody out there tell me in the comments if I am wrong, or state what beach is best for you. But those are the beaches that I've been to, and I like Palawan. If you want to lay down a relaxed environment, that's probably your best bet. If you want more of a party, go parasailing and stuff like that, go to Boracay. You're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Another thing is it's close to Hong Kong and South Korea and Japan. So if you need to do a turnaround flight and you don't have a visa and you're just going in and out of the country and trying to stay there as long as possible, those are the countries that are closest. Hong Kong is probably the closest one. You can do a turnaround flight and come back in the country with another, I think it's up to 90 days. And then you can do a turnaround and fly back in and out if you want to stay longer than that. Another thing, if you're single and you're a male, or nowadays females, but if you're a male, there's a lot of ladies out there, and it's like 7-1 or 9-1, and so you can find a lady of your choice, and as long as you treat her right, they'll treat you right. So that's something to think about. Another thing is get ready to sing, because they sing even when they're just walking around outside, or they'll be humming or something like that. They're little singers. Even when they're talking, sometimes they sound like they're singing. So that's something that's actually kind of nice, versus you come to America and you hear a lot of upset people. So it's a very friendly place, a very happy place. I highly suggest going there. Also, they do karaoke everywhere, so they're little karaoke machines. The people are little karaoke machines. So get ready to sing. If you don't like to sing, you will like to sing. Filipinos or Filipinas are willing to help you or anyone at any time. Unlike some other places I've been to, I'm not going to mention any country names, but in the general region, other countries where they wouldn't help you or they try to shoo you off, you ask them a question and they're going to, like directions, for instance, they're going to be more than happy to help you. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about as a tourist. They're going to help you and they're going to point you in the right directions. So very helpful people, like I said, very friendly place. If I had a choice to live anywhere, if I retired, it'd probably be the Philippines. It's such a good, healthy environment, and very friendly, very happy. Number one key, very happy place. So just keep that in mind. All right. Those are the top likes of the Philippines. Here's some of the dislikes. So you have to get a little bit of both. If you get robbed, like I said, they're very happy people. They're probably going to say salamat po. They're very happy. They're going to rob you and thank you for it. Okay, maybe not specifically like that, but they're very happy when they rob you. So keep your valuables and your phone in your pocket, in your front pocket preferably, or zipped up where they can't get to it, because there is some pickpocketing that goes on down there, and you want to keep your money safe. So always have it in your front pocket, or where they can't easily pull it out. Don't put your phone in your back pocket like we do in America, because chances are you're going to turn around and it's going to be gone. All right. So there are some theft down there. They're just really nice about doing it. They're not going to do what they do up here in America. All right. Another thing is pollution. There's a lot of pollution. You can't get away from it. It kind of fills the air a lot. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but you guys know what pollution is. And it's usually from the cars. And it just kind of, especially when the air dense is low, it just really fills the air. So that's something you got to think about if you're going to move there or stay there for a lengthy amount of time. Not saying everywhere, because the countryside is very beautiful, but deep in the cities, you're going to have to deal with pollution. Unlike in America or some other Western countries, it's a little bit cleaner air and you can breathe a little bit more. Now that might change once the electric car revolution takes off and it kind of cleans up the air a little bit. It could change. I'm not saying picking one side or the other, but either internal combustion engines or electric is fine by me as well. All right. Another thing is traffic. Traffic, to make it to the point, is hellish. If you try to go 10 miles, it's going to take you a couple hours. In the cities, it is a disaster. So I don't know how they can fix that. I'm sure they're trying to figure out a way to fix it. But if you're going to go to a destination, get your hotel very close to where you're going, because it's going to be in the general area you can get around. But if you're going to go for any long distance, get ready to spend a couple hours in the car. All right. So a lot of traffic. And the stop lights and stop signs, and they pretty much ignore them. So it causes a bottleneck, and you know what happens? It causes more traffic. So that's another dislike. Another thing is crowded public malls. The malls are very crowded. Now, if you're single, it's great because you're taller than everybody and you can look over everything and you can take your pick of what you like. All right. If they like you, that is. So, but you can see over everything, and that's the beauty of it, is you can see over everything and you see how crowded it is. But it's very crowded, especially on a weekend. So just get ready for crowded, tight areas. But they're still friendly and move out of the way, and you should do the same for them, and stuff like that. Now, another thing they have is security so you're going to be fairly safe in the malls. They have security at the entry exit points, and they're going to do a little pat down on your waist for the guys. And if the girls carry a purse, they're going to open it up and check inside of it and make sure you don't have any weapons or anything like that to do harm to anybody. So just get ready for that. It's a little bit different than here in America, where we don't have that. So just be polite. It's their country. You're a visitor. So just keep that in mind. Another thing is there's street kids. And what I mean by street kids is if you see one and you're going to help out that kid when he holds out his hand for money, you're going to give him a little bit of money. I suggest not to do that, but some people do. And when you give them money, out of nowhere, there's going to be 1,000 freaking kids everywhere come up to you, and they're going to overwhelm you. So probably your best bet is to not give stuff to the street kids, because unless you want to spend some time handing out money, I would suggest not to do that. You can be cordial and nice just like you are normally, but just keep that in mind. I think that pretty much concludes the dislikes. But just keep in mind, it's a very, very friendly place, a very low cost living. You can get a house for, don't quote me, but you can get a house fairly cheap. It's about half, or maybe, roughly half, about, for a very, very nice place than it would be in the Midwest in America. So it's very cost effective if you're going to retire. So just check it out, do some more research in it. But I've spent months at a time down there, up to 3-4 months. So it's very nice. The visas are fairly easy to get. For America, you can go there on a visa on demand, so that's nice. And most Western countries, I believe, are that way as well. But anyway, I hope this helps. Enjoy the rest of the day. Pathfinder Dude out.